All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Uncle Strib. Today, I have a special guest for you guys. My brother, my main man, my literal brother. I got my brother Kylan Stribling with me. For those of y'all that don't know, he played college football at MTSU for 5 years, right? And then Central Arkansas for a year. And he's an MBA student currently. And so to give you the floor, go ahead and, introduce yourself. Let, whatever you want to tell the people about yourself.
Yes, my name is Kylan Stribling. Pretty much what I really do on kind of my social medias is like sports commentating and just talking about sports. But yeah, I'm excited to be here on my brother's podcast and ready to have a good time.
All righty, fantastic. So if you guys are listening, if you're OG fans, he was on the first couple episodes of Guardians of the 6.5.
Yeah.
But due to, NCAA regulations, it was a little different back in the day. But kicking off, just so that people can get to know you a little more, like what are some personal interests or some things that you're into, like, hobbies or what have you?
Things I'm really interested in is big sports fan. So I'm always into sports. Also into, hip hop music. You know what I'm saying? Those are kind of my biggest things, really. My biggest interest. And yeah. And you really can, if you really like my sports taste, you go on my Twitter handle, verse615. Be good football content on there. So.
Yeah, so yeah. Kylan does have a podcast channel, so you guys want to check that out. We'll be mentioning it later as well. You're also in the anime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big in the anime. We've been in anime since we were kids, right? Or were you in it?
Yeah,
like that?
No, like the old school, the OG Toonami. Used to watch that.
Yeah.
That's where I really started watching Dragon Ball Z. What else we watched? We watched One Piece. Yeah, it was a lot of good shows on there. So that's where it kind of all started.
The original OG Naruto.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
are you into Marvel and DC like that?
Marvel and DC, yeah, no. I mean, I feel like everybody was at one point. Like everybody, when Avengers was out, that's what everybody was going to movie theater watch at one point. And so that's when I started really heavily getting into comic book movies and comic books and stuff like that. So that, and so yeah, I would say I'm pretty big in it. I mean, I know a decent amount about it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so get into the meat of the talk. So what's your occupation, and kind of explain how you got into what you do?
Okay, so my occupation is human resource generalist. I kind of got into being a human resource generalist. It was kind of, I have a business administration degree, so it's definitely in my focus, and it's something that, going into the business world, that's something I want to really explore doing, because I'm really big in entrepreneurship, business, marketing, things of that sort of nature.
And then, so was this your plan A, or was it plan B? Like, what was your, I guess, starting from, I guess, college, or when you knew what you want to do, what were your top three of like what you wanted to do when you got done with college?
Okay.
Excluding
three? Most people don't have a three coming out of college, let's be honest.
Okay, well, if you have up to three, 1, 2, or 3, excluding NFL, because obviously it's college athletes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, right, I'm a college athlete, so like 95.9% of us are gonna be like,
yeah,
we want to go to the NFL. Everybody wants to try to get to the NFL. But excluding that one, no, I don't. I definitely don't have the options, but I definitely thought about doing sports marketing. I really enjoy, like, I kind of wanted to stay in the sports realm, but I didn't want to be a coach.
Right.
So I definitely didn't want to do that. So I wanted to kind of be more about operations, marketing, project manager stuff, things of that sort of nature. And then if it wasn't that, I really enjoyed my HR classes, management, project management classes in college. So that was my plan
Sports marketing was like your plan A, the HRs
B.
are plan. Now, from conversations we've had on the phone, this is kind of you just testing out to see if you like HR and you might dip back into sports marketing, or this is kind of a test run for you right now.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really a test run. Yeah, I'm just filling out everything. You know, I feel like everybody at one point in life after college or wherever tries to figure themselves out. Unless you know, freshman year in college, you knew exactly what you wanted to be and never wavered, you know, and pursued that. But most people, they switch majors in the middle of college. So I think just getting out of college, I'm just really learning, just trying to learn at this point,
Right.
just
Okay.
learning before I make big moves and stuff.
Right. Right. So what is HR? Because people hear about HR, talk about need to contact HR for anything, but what is HR?
Well, HR, I mean, there's a lot of shows like The Office and what was it, Social Worker? There's a TV show that pretty much like they had people that worked in HR on the TV show, and they have this stereotype. You know, they can have a certain stereotype, but HR is really just working with people. You deal with administrative things, so you got to make sure that people if got their benefits, they get their benefits. You deal with benefit programs. You deal with a lot of stuff, and HR really has been going through a lot through COVID. So like a lot of things they didn't have to really do, but a lot of HR departments got to do a lot extra because of the pandemic. So
Okay. And then so like what's you specifically, you personally, like what's like your like task that you like, what type of tasks you do personally, if you're allowed
so
to, as much
yeah,
information as you can give. Obviously I don't want you spilling the tea, but you know, just in general, you know.
no, HR, yeah, that in HR you can't really disclose much of anything you do because you work with people's personal information and
Right.
things like that. So like you can't just be like, I remember in like company situations. So you really can't go back and talk about that because you sound like a contract. But I can tell you in HR, like I said, just do administrative work. Um, Dealing with people, just like if you deal with people in any job, like you have your customer service, your sales positions, you have HR positions, like you're gonna deal with people. So let's just say, you know, there's interesting things that happen when you deal with people, when you work with people, you know.
It makes sense. What are some skill sets? Are there any like particular skills that, let's say somebody comes to you and they're thinking about getting to HR, are there any like particular skills that you would suggest or that you would say are beneficial to the job?
Yes, I would say pretty much just communication skills, problem solving skills, because you got to solve unexpected problems that pop up. Just pretty much be able to work in like fast environment, pretty much, because you got deadlines to meet. You got to do certain things in a certain given time. And there's one other thing. I'm trying to think of it. I think the other organization. You gotta be organized.
Oh, yes.
You gotta be, because you'll deal with a lot of different stuff. So like you gotta make sure that you keep stuff and
I assume there's a lot of paperwork
clarify.
involved, like
Uh,
documentation.
yeah, but it's not all the job.
Really?
I would say it's about 50-50, like paperwork and you actually doing things.
Right. Okay. Well, are there different level? Well, I assume there are, but like, what are the different levels in HR? Because I assume it's like a huge umbrella,
Yeah.
like department. Like, what are the different levels of HR?
So the different levels of HR, I would say there's a lot of positions that are like even, because there's like, if you gotta think, there's different parts of HR. There's not
Right.
just like one HR person that deals with everything HR. Because you have recruiters, so like HR recruiters, so they pretty much just advertise and get people in the door, like people that apply to the job. And then you have people like generalists, they can either they can do a wide range of stuff. They can deal with like administrative paperwork, or they can do training or retention, trying to like keep people there. And then above that is really like above all that, it's really your HR director. So who pretty much oversees like everything going on in HR. And then you have regional managers, manager that you go all the way up to the CEO. Yeah.
Okay. So like where can you go from here? When I say from here, where can you go from HR? Like, I know obviously you can move up internally, but also working in HR, when it's a resume builder, is there any type of like transferable stuff or other jobs that you see people can like branch into from having that HR experience?
I would say that you could probably venture into sales, just because in HR you do have to deal with people. Like, you do have to communicate with people, and you kind of have to always be in contact with somebody. It's not like being an accountant. I wouldn't say like an accountant or something, because an accountant just like sits at their desk just doing financial problems and stuff like that. So I would say marketing, or kind of in the sense, but more, I would say more sales. Yeah.
Sales.
Yeah.
Where do, let's just assume, let's say you want to stay in HR after your little test run. Where do you want to go and from here?
Ooh, you really asked me.
Yeah, and
I mean,
maybe more short term, and then like long term we'll hit later.
short term, I just, like I said, just learning. Like, there's so much about the business world and about pretty much how money works that, I'm learning every week, honestly, and like learning skills, how to not mess up on stuff and how to do stuff. So just working hard doing that. That's my short-term goal. My long-term goal is pretty much to just get a good job that I really enjoy doing.
So that leads to my next question. Like, what's the end game? Let's just say, obviously this could just be like you speculating, it's a hypothetical, but like 10 years down the road, right? What's the dream? Well, let me just ask you this. What's your dream job? Whether it's HR related or not, what's your dream job that you like want to see yourself, or you would like to see yourself? If you could have any job, what would be the dream job?
The dream job, I would be the GM of the I'd be the GM of the Titans. Yeah, that
The
would be a dream
Titans.
job. Yeah. The Titans, I mean, honestly, any NFL team, imagine being the GM. Like, I
Oh
think that would
yeah.
be a really fun job.
Yeah, that would be exciting.
Just build a team, build a dynasty.
Yeah, that, I mean, you're talking about
Yeah.
all the, I mean, yeah, all the skills, and that would be fun. You get all the games, especially for um a fellow Tennessee Titan fan. So now, like, what's some advice? I guess we kind of touched on this with like particular skills, but what's some advice you would give somebody that is trying to make their way in the human resources industry?
um, um, Pretty much all you got to do is well, okay, are we talking about people younger than me, or like
Oh, I mean,
just like anyone?
just your personal take. They could be older, younger, but somebody that
Okay.
wants to make a career in HR based on what you've seen. What's some advice you give them?
Okay, I got you. If you're younger, definitely go to college, do business school, because HR is very business oriented, and it's hard to make it in the industry without some credentials. Like, I don't think you can just come out of high school and just get an HR position.
It's a type of like you need like a higher
Yeah.
education for a
You
type
need
of thing.
higher education. So if you're
Okay.
younger, go and do business administration. I know that's probably the best route. Most HR people have a business administration degree or business management degree at least. Some people have like recruiting degrees, but those are like, I don't think every college provides those. But I would say if you're older, honestly, just apply, or try looking for maybe a paid internship or something like that. I know a lot of HR departments use contractors. so they don't even hire within. So if you like go with a contractor or something like that, an agency, and they'll probably be able to get you an HR job because there's plenty out there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now I got some tough ones for you. What are the 3 keys for success from a client's perspective? So like this is gonna sound weird. I'm gonna try to explain it to where it makes sense. But what are like 3 things? Let's say somebody needs to go to HR, needs some type of business done with HR. They're an employee of the company and they're reaching out to HR. What are some 3 keys to success to make the experience or make the process go smoothly? What do they need to have or be ready for or to bring to the table for it to go smoothly?
For it to go smoothly, 3 things I would say. Be able to, I would say be slow, as in, especially when you do papers and stuff, like don't always be in a rush to get all your work done. Like you really want to do correct work. Like when you're working, like you don't want to always be making mistakes. So, if you just get into it, you're gonna have this urge, like, hey, I'm with this company or whatever. I'm just starting. I'm trying to impress my bosses or like at least work, like have a good reputation at work and stuff like that, that you're a good worker. So I would say just take your time because everybody knows that you're new, so like everybody knows you're gonna make mistakes. No, like no one's perfect or whatever. So I would just say be slow and then be coachable and then ask a lot of questions when you get into it. Cause
Are you talking about from an employee standpoint?
Yeah.
I'm talking about from a customer or not a customer. Well, keep going on that because that was my second one. As somebody that's working in HR.
Yeah. So that's what I would really say. But coming from a customer, well, there's
or
HR
client,
doesn't have whatever,
how you want to call it.
Well, honestly, HR has 0 clients or 0 customers. You're just dealing with the employees.
Well,
yeah, you're dealing with the employees there. So it's not like you're.
So what are the employees? What are the 3 key success for? Because like we all know, like I've never actually like had to use HR, but we know like anytime you need someone with HR, not the fastest department in the company, So from an employee standpoint, I honestly, I don't know, like, when you say HR, that means I don't know what that is. Like, you know what I'm saying? From outside looking in, I know it's human resources, but I don't know what resource besides obviously, like, if you have like a sexual harassment case, you call HR because like they have, that stuff is posted like on walls or like in the bathroom with the employees, you know what I'm saying? Like I know that, but outside of that, I don't know what. So if I needed to go to HR for something, I would know if I need to bring an ID, if I need my employee number, because you know what I'm saying? Like I don't. I need keys to success because if you need whatever it is you need it, obviously with some type of not rush, but you would need it done in a fairly timely manner. But if you don't have the right documents, it'll take forever, you know what I'm saying? So what are my keys to success to where I can have the stuff right the first time?
Okay, the first keys to success, I guess, would be it's like a mix between be persistent, but like your general thought of how HR runs. I mean, yes, HR would deal with that situation, but like I would say that is a rare occurrence that HR has to actually deal with that situation.
I figured.
Yeah. So like it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen. It might have happened in the past, maybe, I don't know. But also I only worked HR for one company, so I would assume different HR departments deal with different stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I would say be persistent because if you go to HR person and try to get something done or something like that, first of all, it's not as formal as you bring your ID unless it has something to do with your ID, where you should already know it's going to deal with your ID. But if you're just like, hey, we need or some such and such, like why is it, I don't know, like hot in here or something like that, or I'm having an issue, a personal issue, or I want know something about my benefits, like you don't need your ID and all that. You just need to come or call and
Right.
then
Y'all just like look it up.
Yeah.
From the system.
Usually if it's little simple stuff, it gets fixed right then and there.
Okay.
But like if it's more of an organizational thing, it might take a minute. But yeah, I would just say be persistent. And then when you do like orientation or when you like get a job, I'm pretty sure when you do your training, you're either trained by a person with HR, not really trained by a person with HR, but they teach you like, hey, you have these benefits or you don't have these benefits.
Right.
Hey, like it goes through all this like red tape to get work.
Yeah.
Actually pay attention in those because like some people won't pay attention in meetings like that. And then, and it's not good. And then they're like, ask HR and it's like, you could have,
it's like not reading
all this information.
It's like not reading the syllabus to a class.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have read the syllabus. It's in the syllabus.
Yeah, exactly. We're like teachers.
That's how I see it. Because I'm teaching a lab right now, and I can already tell you half my students didn't read the syllabus because they'll send me emails, and I'm just like, this is the first page of the syllabus.
But it piles on when like it'll pile on if every student in your class does that, right?
Yeah, it does.
But then you're using all of your time dealing with all this. So if something comes up like, hey, there's a problem,
Like the AC or something like that.
Yeah, and you're like, or it's an organizational thing like, hey, why hasn't this been implemented? Yeah, it's like HR only has so much time one person can handle if everybody hasn't read the syllabus. So you have to, so it just piles on. So I can
it's like the small stuff. The small stuff that could be avoided gets in the way of like the bigger problems, but they can't get to it because they got to solve all this little. I get it. Well, Mr. Stribling, I appreciate you for coming on. Go over your socials again. You got the podcast channel, you got a Twitter and all that stuff. Let people know where they can find you and like any events or any drops or stuff you got coming up recently or coming up.
Yeah, so me and Finis, we have a podcast coming out this Sunday on my sports page. So it's more going to be like not really HR, but more like sports commentary. So we kind of go over a lot of things going on in the NFL offseason. And also, you guys already know this information, but a lot of stuff Finis is into, and just he kind of talks about himself a little bit. We kind of go over that. But you can get this the podcast on my sports Twitter account, and it's at verse615. So yeah,
fantastic.
That's dropping coming up soon. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And I got to have you on again. We're going to do a sports analyst episode.
Yeah.
So for people that don't know, like when it comes to, if I can't bet on games, but if I could, I would be a monster. Cause we'll talk more on that podcast. Cause when I tell you I break down numbers, bro, I'll be breaking the numbers down and bro, it's going to be a good one, but appreciate you guys for listening. Yeah. This has been Uncle Strib. We'll catch you guys next time. We appreciate y'all for listening. We are out.
Yes. Peace.
I'ma strip the wealth, even if I touch a meal. And do it through the pain, I don't need a pain. And life won't get me down, but it won't break my will. Cause I've been chasing this so long, I can't give up. I won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same.